Hi everyone. Welcome to this session on Introduction to Analytics and Reporting Capabilities of HCL Volt MX, where we'll mainly focus on standard metrics and reporting. Here's what we'll cover in this video: an overview of analytics capabilities in HCL Volt MX, a deep dive into standard metrics available, and how to use standard reporting for insights and decision making. Volt MX offers basic reporting out of the box accessible through Volt Foundry admin console. So now let's get started.
We have a lot of ground to cover. We are going to look into the standard metrics and reporting available, the custom metrics capabilities, user journey and application performance, user funnel reports, how to create your own custom dashboard, and the monitoring capabilities around the services and environment that are part of this. So let's start with the different types of analytics capabilities with HCL Volt MX. We have standard metrics that are captured out of the box. We have almost 200 different data points that are captured, which includes stuff like, what OS, what is the OS version, like iOS, Android, iOS 15, what device it is being captured from, like Samsung Galaxy 15 or whatever, and what is the timestamp, if we know details about the user, the IP address, geolocation, and a lot of other metrics. The detailed metrics that are captured are in the guide. We also have the ability to capture custom metrics from the application, and the user can capture application specific logic and data from the same. And all the data that is captured can be enabled or disabled with just a click box. We have reports that are out of the box for looking at this data. We have dashboards for quickly looking at multiple data points and the ability to create custom reports as well. We will go into more details about the event flow and user journey later, where we show what all events can be captured automatically, how do you modify it, what granularity it is captured, and how you can even capture custom events for application specific behavior and building user journey funnels. We look into automatic error reporting and crashes, performance monitoring of the services and environment and such. Right? So let's start with the dashboard. So the dashboard is to give you a quick snapshot of what is happening with all the different applications and running across your different environments in one quick single view. So we will see a demo of this shortly as well, but at a snapshot it shows you the number of users using your application daily, how many of them are named, how many are anonymous. You can see the activity per location on a map of the world or on a map of USA. You can also see which apps are being used. You can see how much time is being taken for your service calls and how often they are invoked and when. And you can also see the performance of the services in itself in terms of, how much time is spent on custom logic and pre or post process that is written, how much time in the external call, and how much time in, internal processing or response parsing. And if there are errors or crashes, it will let you know when the errors are happening, what pages and how many crashes, and it will even subsequently in the standard report will show you, it can even see what were the last few actions done by the end user before the application crashed. The standard out of the box reports are numerous in number, as you can see. They give you different types of information. I'll go through details of this while demoing the same, but at a high level they provide information like how actively the app is being used, from where it is being used, what apps are being used, how the services are performing, how frequently they are being used, what is the journey that the user is taking up, and errors and crashes, if any. With that, let's jump to a demo of the. So to run the reports, you have to go to the reports section, and here you can see the dashboard with all the different reports. So by default, it shows for the last week. You can change it to see the data for today or the last 7 days, last 30 days. You can even give a custom range. You can choose which apps you want to see the data for or which environments you want to see the data for, and then you can choose to modify them and run apply, and it will rerun the reports. So As I said, named users are basically people who have logged into the application, and we know that that is a particular person. Anonymous is the application, the user is not logged in, or the application developer chose not to report that data. Right? You can see existing users. You can switch and see how many new users are using your application. You can change, and then you can download all of these as a PNG or a PDF for storing purposes. You can also, for example, here the USA map, you can see how many folks are coming using from different states, and in the world map I can see the usage by different countries, right? And this lets me see how the application is used geographically. I can also zoom out and look at the data, in a full screen for a particular thing, or I can snap and get back to my previous view. The data, while hovering, it will highlight what is the specific thing that you're trying to look at, or if I want to see the data for a specific thing, I can choose to do that too. The services, for example, are by default showing me how many services were invoked on that particular day and what was the service that was invoked and stuff like that. This is shown in the event integration service activity report. The surface performance report tries to show how much time was spent in parsing versus external call, response processing, post-processor. So different services are going to have different data, and this data is all shown in milliseconds. We can try to see a service which takes, so this one is having internal processing as well as response processing. We have other stuff with more logic as well. So we can see the split up and stuff here. And we can also choose what, so for quickly identifying if something is performing bad and I want to draw the attention of the developer or the person admin to that, I can set a threshold and warning and critical limit. So if it is beyond that, the color would change to orange and red, so that it is, while I'm looking at the snapshot, I'm quickly identifying what needs my attention, so to speak. The error summary is trying to show you how many errors happened on which day and stuff like that. So this is a quick snapshot of the out-of-the-box dashboard for reporting. Now let's go to the out-of-the-box reports capabilities. So most of these reports can be run for a specific date range. You can run it at a date aggregation for a day, week, or month within that. Some reports like this, if you want to just see total users of your app till now, you can choose an aggregation of none as well. You can look at named users only or anonymous users only, or a combination of them. You can choose to look at a specific app, or you can choose to look at all apps. You can choose to see the only native apps or web applications or hybrid. You can choose to see by channels like mobile or tablet or desktop, or you can choose to see by OS like Android and iOS and Windows, or by different environments that you have. So let me just try to run this one report without aggregation. Of course, I can change the date time as well here and generate it. So once an app, once I've set the particular filter criteria, it will run a query and get the data back. And it shows the total anonymous users and named users for that time period. I can refine the reports, which will bring back the filters, and I can edit it. I can choose to export them as a PDF or an image or an Excel if I want this data to be visible later. Excel will get this data as in a number format, not as the image. PDF and image will get it as the image itself. You can also see how long, what is the average session length of a particular app. If there are errors, what are the details of the errors and stack traces and such. You can see application usage by different apps. For example, if I have several apps, I can choose to see those apps and generate this report. The interactive and non-interactive means whether the app was triggered by a process or by a person. Of course, there are way too many apps in this to make good reading. And I can probably go to a report with lesser data to make some better sense of it. So application usage detail, I'm not going to go into each one of them. The details are there in the documentation, which you can look at, but you can also see how many events happened in over a date range by visits or sessions or devices. You can also see how frequently an app is used, once a day or once a week or once a month. How many new users are using the app versus existing users? What is the performance of your particular services, and number of average time that it takes for a service to be invoked, and what is the min, max, and average, so to speak, for a particular app. So let us try to see day, but we'll only look at for the last 7 days. It is showing how many times it is invoked, what is the maximum duration, what is the average duration, what is the minimum duration, right? And what are the services invoked and such. And it also shows when this report was run, from which time zone I ran, because the date changes by time zone and such. And we also have a more granular report if you want to see data in a table format for a particular app. You want to see the performance in a table, or you want to see the user activity in a map, right? Or sessions per specific device. So if I want to see platform for a specific app or across all apps, I can see by platform and just generate and see the usage. So it looks like so this gives you a idea of the out of the box reports and dashboards.
To summarize, today we provided an overview of HCL Volt MX analytics capabilities, focusing on the key metrics and reports available. We covered the standard metrics in detail, including how to generate and retrieve data from standard reports. In our upcoming videos, we'll dive deeper into additional metrics and reporting features, so stay tuned to learn more. Thank you for watching. We hope this session was useful. Don't forget to check the description box for more details.